Good evening, Dog Nation, and welcome into Dog Nation's coverage of the Dog Walk here, presented by Kroger. In just a moment, the Georgia Bulldogs about to make their way into Bryant-Denny Stadium. The guess here is not quite as festive as some of these home games. A look of intensity. In fact, you see it right away as Georgia coach Kirby Smart walks in. A stadium that he knows well, going back to his time as Alabama defensive coordinator many years. But now he returns as a two-time national championship head coach. And following him in, members of this Georgia staff. You probably also saw a moment ago Tate Ratledge hopping in. The Georgia Bulldogs making their way in. Coming in, getting ready for a big one here today. There's wide receiver Arian Smith walking by. Arian Smith, the guy that you expect that could have a very big day for Georgia. There's Trevor Etienne coming by. Xavier Truss, the Georgia offensive lineman, walking by. Oscar Delp coming on through. Georgia Bulldogs making their way in. You see offensive lineman Dylan Fairchild right there. Fairchild saying this week that he knew what had been said by Alabama and its quarterback Jalen Milroe. Obviously Tate Ratledge unavailable here today. Mikael Williams coming in here right now. You'll get a look there at that ankle. How much can he support that today? How many snaps can Mikael give these Georgia Bulldogs? That's going to be a huge storyline. Chaz Chambliss going to walk in here right now on his way in for a big football game. Georgia making its way into the stadium. Georgia quarterback Carson Beck, a little more subdued than he has been. Obviously looking great. Got what appears to be almost like a Louis Vuitton style belt on, dark color suit after wearing a much lighter, much more flamboyant look in previous weeks. There's Christian Miller, a defensive lineman who played a lot against Kentucky. But today the expectation is maybe a little help. More from Warren Brinson. More from Xavier McLeod as Mary Beth Smart, the first lady of Georgia football. She now comes in. The Georgia Bulldogs getting ready for Alabama here today. Making their way in. The Dogs continue to come through. You're going to get a good look at Branson Robinson. How sharp does he look? With the turtleneck, with the plaid print there on that suit. Quite a fashion statement from him. Georgia buses all lined up here, continuing to make their way in. See Jarvis Jones, one of the key UGA staffers here. As the Dogs are getting ready, Alabama fans all over the place. The faint sounds of Sweet Home Alabama plays in the background, but it's a night tonight in which Georgia hopes to make this game home for themselves. DeMello Jones, one of the outstanding freshman defensive back. Here's Georgia offensive coordinator Mike Bobo now walking through as Georgia continues to come on in here. Obviously, our Dog Walk coverage brought to you by Kroger. Make sure you stop by your local Kroger. Game day favorites, everything you need to get stocked up. Got a bunch of folks coming over to the house tonight. Try to keep a good thought. Try to stay happy. Let's stay tuned and all look forward to having plenty to celebrate here today. So the Dogs are making their way in. The Dog Walk here going to roll on. We got big coverage all day long here as well on DawgNation.com, the Dog Nation video channels. Obviously, Kaylee Mansell right now for our Dog Nation pregame. We'll see you after the game tonight from down on the field at Bryant-Denny Stadium as Josh Jackson walks in here. How about 6'10" there? You love to see that. KJ Bolden on his way in there too, supporting the Louis Vuitton bag there. We'll see you tonight for the Dog Nation post-game show after the game. Big one here today, Georgia and Alabama. Stay close to Dog Nation all day long. Thanks to Kroger for the Dog Walk coverage. We'll talk to you soon right here on the Dog Nation video channels.